Welcome back, you degenerates, to the number one gambling podcast in the world. I'm Billy. I'm here with Greggy and Morgan. First off, boys, before I even want to ask you how you're doing, this is March. You know how I know it's March? Drake -2 was the number two trending thing in the world before the
Really?
game on
It
Twitter.
was, yeah.
Yep.
Wild.
Yep. This is March, boys. We're here. This is
Real
what
shame
we've been
that it
waiting.
didn't cover.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. I said I wasn't gonna touch it. It's gonna be way too close.
I didn't touch that game.
I had Wichita State plus 2.5.
Dang.
Not a boy. You know, we've had
much-
some wild games so far. It's
yeah,
gonna
today's games were real wild.
it's gonna be one hell of a tournament if the playing games were like this and it's gonna continue like this. We're gonna lose 15 pounds just sweating, boys.
Agreed.
At the current moment, the score is, I don't know, hold on, 73-69 UCLA. It's what was the closing number? It was -3 for Michigan.
Closing was 3.
Yeah. Morgan and Greg are both on Michigan State, if I'm correct.
Correct.
Correct. Good luck, boys. While there's 3.5 minutes left in this game, we're gonna start recording as we eventually have to go to bed. But the game of the night, win or lose, was Appalachian State against Norfolk State. I think Appalachian State goes 0 for 19 from 3 in the first half. I text the boys because I'm on Appalachian State money line. This game is over. I hate my life. This, that, the third. Welcome to March. All the feelings in the world. Grab my bottle of bourbon, getting ready to drink my sorrows away. Second half comes. They make a 19-point comeback.
It's a whole new team.
Oh my God! They forgot they didn't know how to shoot a three. Then they couldn't miss a three, and then they couldn't make a layup. It's like it was a wild game. They had a chance to win it at the end, but unfortunately, the 19 points was insurmountable. They lost by 1 because of a bad shot at the end. Boys,
Yeah, I don't know
besides
what
all
they
that,
put in that Gatorade cooler at halftime. Don't know what happened.
crack cocaine.
It's possible.
Definitely
Highly
possible. How are we feeling about the brackets? How you guys filling out brackets? And you guys think you're gonna win some money before we get into actual?
I love my bracket.
You only have one bracket.
No. I'm talking about our betting diagonal bracket.
Oh, got you.
But that's the bracket. I mean, I have a billion different brackets, with a billion different outcomes. But our betting diagonal pool, which it's not too late to get into, if I'm not mistaken.
By the time this comes out, it'll be just about too late.
Yeah, you might be able to sneak one person in. I love my bracket. I actually just flipped on one of my picks for one of my rounds, but I absolutely love it. I have Baylor taking down Alabama in the title.
Ooh,
Okay.
I don't hate
I've
that.
actually, I feel like I haven't heard that one yet, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, man. I have bracket that has Alabama winning. I have brackets that obviously have Gonzaga. I have Baylor. I have Illinois. I have West Virginia winning in a couple of them. I love that. I talked about it like a month ago. I loved West Virginia. They're a great bunch. And one of my favorite teams ever is today I just put it in number 6 San Diego State to win it all with upsets across the board. I love that bracket because it's not going to come close, but it's, to me, it's just what I wish would happen. You always got to have one.
Mm-hmm.
If Duke was in it, I would have Duke to win, but they're not. They stink.
My wish bracket, I have the Gauchos winning it all, running rampant through everybody. It'll never happen, but I love the Gauchos.
That would be something.
That would be something.
Wild.
There's a couple brackets I have Ohio going to the Sweet 16. It gets weird out there. When you're up at 3 a.m, can't sleep, staring at brackets, it gets a little weird, boys. That's all I'm gonna say.
My little teaser, my Sweet 16 in the South currently has 2 10 and higher seeds in it.
In the South. Nice. Don't hate. I don't hate.
And I have an 11 going to the Elite Eight.
Really? And
Me
is
too.
it too soon to spoil who that is?
No, not at all. I have
Utah.
VTech and Utah State meeting in the Sweet
Mhm.
16,
I have
and then
that
I have
too.
Baylor and Utah State meeting in the Elite Eight.
Yep. I have
Love it.
one. Let's see. What do I have? Let me make sure I'm not going to be wrong. I mean, in one bracket I have in the West, 12 versus 13 going. Whoever wins that goes to Sweet 16 to play Baylor. I have, like you said, Utah State versus Virginia Tech. It's gonna get weird. Like, I start off getting weird, and then I try to convince myself that it's gonna be a very chalky tournament, but we know it's not gonna happen. I was listening to ESPN radio today. I don't know who was talking, but somebody said to take Villanova, and I said, "Oh, you're an idiot." There's a lot of things that can happen in this tournament, but you're an idiot.
I love Villanova. I love Villanova with everything I have. They've given me great memories. They're not winning this year.
No, that not winning the whole thing, that's for sure. I mean,
They might
possibly
not win
tomorrow.
a single game.
But yeah, it's funny you mentioned you have Utah State in the 8 losing to Baylor because I only have one bracket right now and it's ours. Gonna make more tonight, but I have Utah State losing to Baylor in the Elite 8.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love that.
yeah, that's the highest seed that I have in the Elite 8. I have Ohio losing to Gonzaga in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I have that in a couple of them.
Yeah, I have
I
them getting
have-
to Virginia,
I
then
have-
UC Santa Barbara.
I have Santa Barbara losing to Gonzaga in the 16.
Really?
That our bracket is the only one I haven't done yet. So it's the
Interesting.
only.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I would. Go ahead, Morgan.
I'm just looking. I think I have a double-digit seed making it to at least the 16, and 3 out of at least a 16 in every single region.
I don't know if you guys heard the same thing today, Billy. I know you were at work, and I don't remember the stat like to the T, but the announcer said that a play-in game winner has made it to the round of 32 every year for like the past 10 or more years.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was
Fun
pretty
spoiler
interesting.
to that. I think the winner of this game currently airing on TBS is going to make it to the round of 32.
Yes, and almost every single one of my brackets, yes. There's like 2 or 3 of them that I don't. And for those of you saying, Bill, how many brackets do you have? You sound like you're a maniac. Answer is yes, yes, and yes. I have too many brackets. Yes, I am a maniac. And yes, I will be joining more brackets tonight. You can't stop.
Oh, that's not being a maniac. That's called responsible gambling right there.
Listen, I'm just making up for I'm doubling up from last year because we didn't have the bracket.
Yeah, you
I'll
have
be
an
back to my
extra years
normal.
of brackets that you get to make.
I usually always did around 15 brackets, just like 15 paid brackets. Only 1 or 2 winner takes all, but everybody deserves a fair chance. But without further ado, boys, I feel like we should get in some picks. Let's start with Morgan because he had nothing to say on Tuesday because he missed the memo saying that we were going to talk about Friday games.
I wasn't on that one, but I do have a good fun slate for tomorrow. First game first. Virginia Tech -1 against Florida. We've talked about Virginia Tech a bunch of different times. At their very best, Virginia Tech can play against anybody in the country, and they could beat them at any given night. Real big thing that kind of sways me here because a lot of statistics point Florida's direction. However, the assist to turnover ratio between the two teams there's a massive difference. Virginia Tech turns over the ball at 11 times a game, whereas Florida's turning over 14 times a game. So that 3 possessions right there in a single point game like this, I think it's what it's going to come down to. It's going to be a very close one, but I like Virginia Tech to cover that game for sure. Next one I'm going to have Utah State +4 against Texas Tech. I went back and forth on this one for a long time because if we remember correctly, a few weeks ago, Texas Tech was my team that I thought was going to win it all. I do have a bracket where I have Texas Tech winning it all. But at this moment, I think Utah State is the better team. I have Utah State getting pretty far in general in my bracket. I have them making it to an Elite 8 matchup with Baylor at the moment. So I think they're a very good team. Texas Tech is an ugly 6 seed, and they're 10-17 against the spread this season. So I think that's a good spot for Utah State to win outright. Yes,
real quick
William.
before, I just didn't want to cut you off. I heard something yesterday that made me a little unsure about the 4. I still like the 6.5 that where I have it. I still like the 5.5 where I also have it. And you know me, I'm still on my money line. But did you know that the only teams that Tech has lost to are all in the tournament and are all 5 seeds or better?
I
Really?
did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Well,
Very interesting.
Baylor
That's-
twice,
that's a-
West Virginia.
Baylor, Texas,
Oklahoma
West Virginia, Oklahoma State. That's it.
That's a good
Very
stat.
interesting.
Yeah,
One of
I
the
was
reasons
like, I heard it.
like
And
Michigan State to go pretty far.
I almost cried when I heard it. I was like, no, you can't do that to me. But continue. I didn't want to cut you off.
No, you're good. That's good. That's a great stat. Easy one. Baylor -25.5. I'm not going to overthink it. Baylor is dominant. Hartford, I don't think, has a shot against them right now. Big one. Baylor is the #1 3-point shooting team in the country, hitting it over 41% per night. If you watch the special we put out Sunday evening, Monday, one of my big fun facts that I had was there have only been 6 national title teams who have ever shot less than 35% from 3 and won the tournament. I like Baylor to win it this year with hitting over 41% from 3. Oklahoma State -7.5 against Oregon. No, I'm sorry, Liberty. Oklahoma State right now. I was reading something. Very much. I know, boys, you're gonna love this. It's giving me a lot of Kemba and UConn vibes with Cade.
Love Kemba. Big Kemba guy.
Right now. I'm getting a lot of Kemba vibes, and I'm getting a lot of Melo at Syracuse vibes, where it's that one player who puts the team on his back and carries them through the tourney. I think this is the Cunningham show that we're living in right now. You know, the guy's going to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft. Fortunately, he's going to go to some direct team like the Timberwolves. But shit, that's not good. I don't want to overthink this one either. They have the best player in the country. You know, Luka Garza is probably going to win the Wooden Award, but Cunningham's the best player. He's the most athletic player. He's the most versatile player, both as an offensive player and as a defensive player. Taking the best player to win, pretty much. Next one I like tomorrow, and I've gone a little bit back and forth on this one, but I've kind of think I've settled on it now. San Diego State -3.5. San Diego State is 11th in defensive efficiency this season. And as we get into tournament time where it's going to buckle down a little bit more, I like the stronger defensive team far and away. Additionally, Syracuse is one of the worst teams in the country on the glass. They are terrible at rebounding. Give me a defensive team that can rebound all day over a team that cannot rebound at all. And then the last one I'm going to have, and I'm sure I will add more because I don't have any spreads or anything. Kansas -10.5. Another one. Not going to overthink it. This is a small number. I think actually this number should be bigger. Kansas is one of the really only true blue bloods that are in this field this season. One of the only teams that really, achieved to what you would have expected of them. So I'm going to roll with that. Additionally, one of the big reasons I like this one is Kansas defense is elite. They have a phenomenal defense, whereas Eastern Washington has scored less than 66 points in 3 of their last 5 games, all against crappy teams. So what are they going to do against an elite Baylor defense? They're going to score in the 50s. This is going to be a Kansas 70 to 50 score around that ballpark. I think it's an easy cover.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either. I'm so scared that game might look like a Kansas versus UTEP type of thing where I'm like squeezing for a win, a straight up win at the end of the game, and hoping my bracket's still alive. Um, yeah, I think I'm just going to ignore that game, but I hope you win.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I appreciate that.
I hope you win as well. Greg, do you have any more for Friday, or did
For
you cover most
Friday.
of them? Because I have two more I can talk about for Friday that I added, two unders.
Let's see. So I spoke about Wisconsin the other day. Love that play. Spoke about Loyola Chicago, Georgia Tech over. Still love that play. Um, VTech. I'm on that with you, Morgan. Yeah, I have two plays. And Morgan, unfortunately, I am very sorry that you finally decided Utah State when it went down to 4.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's a 3.5 point swing that you could have got there. But
It happens. I'm still confident in Utah State at that number.
good. I think you should be. But yeah, I added two plays here that I like, don't love, but flirting on the side of danger with this tournament. So let's go with Purdue minus 7.5. Me and Billy I told him I was playing this game beforehand when we were off the air. And, he was a little on the fence about it, wasn't really sure. I wasn't for a while either. And I think I finally came to my senses too that Purdue is they're a good team. They're a much bigger team. Every season, they, I don't know how they just produce. I think they produce 7'3" centers in a lab and give
Mm-hmm.
them United States citizenship and make them a Boilermaker. Because, if it's Isaac Haas, it's I can't even remember this guy's name, but they're all over the place. They're bigger, they shoot better, they play as good or better defense because that's what North Texas is. That's what they pride themselves on. But they're playing good defense against a crappy conference. So I not love Purdue at minus 7.5. Uh, Last but not least for tomorrow, I thought I just deleted my whole thing. Um, Oregon State plus 8.5 versus Tennessee.
Don't tell them. Don't say that to me.
The only reason that I'm leaning on this as a play is because over the past 24 hours, it's moved from 6.5 to 8.5. I wasn't going to take it at 6.5. I was kind of just going to ignore it and watch. But now I think 8.5 too big of a number for a team that they're on the right side of luck right now. And Tennessee's too shaky of a team day in and day out to oh my god. Okay. Sorry, distraction. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, I think Tennessee's too shaky of a team day in, day out to pull away with this game. I think Oregon State's just going to be too gritty, fight tooth and nail, and get that cover, whether it's backdoor or they're just in it.
That's interesting. I'm about to see what you guys saw on TV 30 seconds ago. I think for that game that oh, they're about to inbound that ball. I can't miss whatever you guys just said. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Oh, okay. You missed it. That was close though. That was close.
Yeah, I think the shot clock went off anyway.
Yeah.
I mean the game clock, but
it looked like it. I think that Oregon State, they overachieved so much just to get here, and they've, it's still 6 days of rest, still plenty of time to recoup and recover. But like when you lay it all out on the floor 5 nights in a row, like they did, it does take a lot out of the tank. That's why like in the survivor pool we did, I'm taking Tennessee. I don't know. At first, I thought, hey, maybe, but then like I came to my senses. Listen, when you overachieve, usually it means you underachieve in the tournament. I don't hate the number at 8.5. I'm personally staying away.
Yeah, I mean it's a like, not a love, and it's just a lean right now. It's not in, it's not confirmed, but I saw the number go up, so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. But I do have a question for the both of you guys, real quick.
Answer.
Who, which team do you think has the better chance to come out victorious this weekend? Oregon State or Georgetown? Two overachievers.
Neither.
Well, I have Georgetown taking down Colorado in my bracket.
Okay. Thank you
So
for the
I
answer,
think
Morgan.
I
I
don't
do
think
think
either
that
of them stand a
Georgetown.
chance.
Right, but
I
what
do think Georgetown could win.
I just said, I asked, who do you think has a better chance of pulling out a victory?
I haven't watched enough Colorado. They do have the best player on the floor. I guess you can go Tennessee because they worry me sometimes on offense, but they're too big, too strong, too fast. They're just athletic freaks, you know. I don't know. Like I'd rather be willing to take the chance on Oral Roberts money line before either one of those. To be
That's
honest
fair.
with you,
That's fair. It's just a question.
I
See who.
I like the team that is clearly laying it all out on the line for their coach every single night that they touch the court, and that Saxo Hoya is going nuts all out there for Patrick Ewing every single night.
he
I
just
definitely
said
think,
that
and
so
I
he
did
could say
watch.
Saxahoya.
I did, and I watched a lot of Colorado because I was on Colorado a lot, and they did not play up to their talent, and they play down to the competition around them a lot of times. It's from what I've seen. So I definitely think that Georgetown can come out of there and sneak a win out.
That's interesting. The line definitely reflects that it's possible.
Yeah.
Two more ads that one ad that I've already bet on and one that I'm leaning. I'll let you guys know first thing in the morning, you two. And if I do bet on it, it will obviously be up on Twitter for the fans. San Diego State versus Syracuse under 139.5 as a play. I think it's pretty simple. Syracuse can't score outside of the Carrier Dome. They don't shoot the ball very well outside of the dome. Besides Buddy Bayham, which I think Matt Mitchell will be able to slow down, they don't have any offensive pieces like they usually do. And they're not a very particular fast team. And we already know that I banged the drum about San Diego State all year long about how slow they play and how they frustrate teams when they play defense. They give you a stifling look anytime they make a basket. They're full court pressing. And it's a full court press to a half court trap, and it's especially first half. There's gonna be very low scoring. I wouldn't hate the first half under. I just a 65. If I ever play it under 65 and it's not in football, it kind of worries me. You know what I mean? Like it's just a weird number I just don't like. But I wouldn't be surprised if both teams don't hit 30 in the first half. These teams haven't played in these gyms before. You saw it today. This is what I was going to tell you guys before that all the games, they all started out slow. They're not used to shooting in that gym. They're not used to the background. They have the tournament jitters. So at 139.5 in a normal game, it's not a neutral floor. It's not the tournament. I still like that number. So therefore, I think it's pretty safe in my opinion. My other lean is going to be Wisconsin UNC under 138. These teams stink offensively, and Wisconsin's averaging just over 69.5 per game. UNC's averaging 75 per game. Neither one of them shoot the ball particularly well. They do get UNC does get some second chance points, but that's just time off the clock. It's time off the clock, and like I said, I'm going to be leaning unders in the first round a lot. I just came up with another under for you. First half, Iowa State, Oral Roberts. If somebody can pull that line up for me. Actually, I'll probably have it first. First half, because now once the number keeps going up, that first half is going to go up as well. Yeah, it's at 75. That's a tight
75?
number. 75.5. One thing I look for, like, say I like the over in a game, usually it's a lot of second half scoring. So it's just a lean. It's not a play officially.
Mhm.
I don't hate that. I want to get to my Saturday bets. I don't have crazy amount. Friday's definitely the better day to bet on, as we all were agreeing right before we started recording.
Yeah, agreed completely.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a fucking rebound.
I'm gonna fade all of the sharps that are all over the internet taking St. Bonnie's. I'm going LSU money line. Listen, they're top 15 offensive efficiency team. Um, you know, they did overachieve in the tournament, but like they've played well all year in big games where it matters. You know, they always stepped up. So St. Bonnie's can't score with them. They can't shoot the ball as well. You know, this is a Power Five conference team. I do like St. Bonnie's. I bet on them a lot this year. I love them. You know, they're a darling in the eyes of America. But for me, it's going to be LSU money line, minus 1.5. Like at the 1.5, I'm just going to take the money line, guys. It's minus 125. Just easier for me not to have to sweat out a fucking free throw in a 1 point game. I do think it's going to be a closer game, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I will say that. My next game is going to be Colorado -5. I've already placed that bet. It's up to 6.5 against Georgetown. Like I said before, Georgetown, they spent all their gas. You know, they just drove cross country. You know, they don't deserve to be here. They really don't, and they're playing a very good Colorado team. Um, give me Colorado -5. It's that simple. Georgetown doesn't belong in this tournament. You know, there's 3 or 4 other teams in that conference that belong in this tournament before Georgetown, and we all know it. Next game, Oklahoma -1/money line. I have them both just to be safe against Missouri. Lon Kruger has been to the tournament more times than we've been alive. More years than we've been alive, I should say. You know, he's a coach that will understand how to get his players up for a game. They're a scrappy bunch. For me, Missouri hasn't gotten out of the first round in 15 years. So give me Oklahoma. Give me the better coach. Give me the better team. And this one's still a lean. But we talked about on Sunday how I was going to be on VCU in the brackets. As of yesterday, I've changed my mind in almost all of them. I'm going the shitty Pac-12 with the Oregon Ducks -4.5. I'm buying the half point so I don't push a 5. Um, I don't know. It just feel like that. We talked about it on Sunday that the 7-10 is always deceiving, where you know the teams could always be flip flopped, but the 7 seed usually is overwhelmingly favored. I don't know the numbers in 99 wins to 67 losses over the past some odd years. Don't remember the number. Doesn't matter to me. I really am leaning towards the Ducks. I've changed them all in my bracket already. Almost all of them. You know, you gotta have contrarian, obviously. That's it for Saturday for now. I've been so obsessed with the Friday slate because a lot of the teams that I have going deep, and you know, I'm trying to get through it. It's so much basketball, and I love it. Craig, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so Saturday's plays, I think I've spoken briefly about all of them at times. I only have 3 right now. You know, when Saturday comes, I'm sure I'll have more. Maybe tomorrow I'll pull 1 or 2 more plays out of a hat. But my 3 favorites, just from looking them over: Cal State Santa Barbara +7 versus Creighton, For all the reasons we've spoken about previously, they can shoot the ball. Creighton's been struggling against, arguably the worst Power 5 conference in the country right now. The Power 6, I guess, with the Big East. But yeah, I'm going to go with Cal State Santa Barbara, sprinkle the money line, and I have them in my bracket moving on. I would probably have them in like 90% of brackets moving on. That's how much non-faith I have in Creighton with how they played.
I don't hate that. I'll probably play it when Saturday comes.
Mhm.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Throw it in a teaser, boys. Throw it in a teaser.
It's in a teaser, actually, thanks to you.
Yes,
I could
sir.
for the fans. I told him I was against teasers, and then at 4 in the morning when I couldn't sleep, I placed a 7-game teaser, college basketball, and I'm very confident in it. So thanks to Greg.
Greg might be the biggest fan of teasers there is in all of gambling.
Oh yeah,
It is true. I mean, when it comes to football season, I barely play anything else. I mean, give me 13 points.
yeah,
Give
for
me
sure.
13 points. Are you kidding me?
That's what it's there for.
Yeah, I mean, I could figure out 4 teams, 100%.
He's so flustered.
Next game, UConn -3 over Maryland. I would never take Maryland. I don't think I would take Maryland against any team in this tournament. I feel the same way about Rutgers and Clemson, and too bad they're playing each other, and I had to make a decision in my bracket.
It's the worst game ever.
Yeah, I mean that's a game that'll have the worst ratings of any of the games.
That's I told you it's my dad's birthday this week, and I'm hoping that's the time we can go out to dinner.
I think it is an early evening game.
Ooh.
I think it is. So it would be an early dinner. I don't really want to talk about that one, to be quite honest. I'm just not taking Maryland, and I only have to lay 3 points with UConn, so that's the play. Last one I have here, and I've been barking up this tree since the beginning. Current line at 7.5 for Ohio over Virginia. Line opened at 8.5. It's been sputtering in between 7 and 8.5 for the past couple of days. I take it down to even, at the 7.5 it is. If it hits 7, I'm still taking it again. I just think they're too scrappy of a bunch. They have more advantages than people are realizing. And I think Virginia's slow pace of play and Ohio's more up tempo beat is going to Michigan State. It's going to be in their favor as long as they're hitting some of their shots. And the guard play, I've mentioned that a million times already. That's the X factor for me. Tell me about it, Morgan.
This sucks. I got to do some adjusting apparently now.
Yeah, this is what happens. Like a lot of these ones I left. A lot of the brackets I left the USC game empty and just kept going on. Because I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I do actually have one more game that I didn't write down and slipped my mind. Abilene Christian plus 9.5 against Texas. Yeah.
I love that
Morgan
pick.
tried to take credit and birthing the Degenerate.
Love it. Like Greggy was asking us about the two, Georgetown and whoever the fuck the other one was that you think we're going to upset. I think Abilene Christian could upset Texas potentially in this opening round. I really think it could happen. So I have that plus points, plus I have a sprinkle on the money line as well.
Ooh, I'm not bold enough to take a sprinkle on that money line. I mean,
yeah, I never even had a thought about it.
Officially, I should say. No, they can score, man. They're one of the best cover teams in the country this year. I'm just trying to pull up the exact amount. That's not them. They're not Texas Southern. Where is that game? Oh, there it is. They went 17-6 against the spread.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, 8-2 in the last 10. You
Love
know,
that.
they can score, boys. I do like
Good teams
that.
win. Great teams cover.
I've
The
heard
best
that
team
one before.
ever. Just once or twice. Just to put into perspective, the only thing that I mean, like, it's obviously, it's a weight. It's like, like when one kid takes calculus 3 in high school and one kid's taking basic math, and they both have a 90. You know, like, obviously Abilene Christian's playing worse competition, but they're blowing them out. But they do move the
Can you
ball a little
guess which
bit better.
math I took in high school?
You probably dropped out of high school the way you do math.
Fun fact: when I was at Temple taking journalism classes, I took a math class that was mathematics for journalists.
What the fuck does that involve? Actually, side note,
It,
what the fuck does that involve before we go any farther into this game?
it was the best math class of my life. Literally, I was looking at sports statistics every day. That's it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
All right, that's actually
Only
pretty
math
cool.
class I ever got a good grade in.
Sign me up. Sign me
Yeah,
up.
I didn't see that answer coming. I'm like, where is he gonna go with this?
Yeah, I was a little worried after I asked it. Like, shit.
Oh my God, here we go again.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, going down the rabbit hole. Back to the game. Abilene Christian averages almost 19 assists per game. They move the ball very well. They shoot very well. They average almost 10 assists per game. 10 steals per game. Once again, it's kind of like the level playing field you're playing at. But Texas has a reputation to turn the ball over quite a lot. So there's a lot of chances for some fast break points. And also, Texas, as we all know, if you've ever watched Texas Tech versus Texas, they don't know how to not foul. They are in the penalty 9 minutes into a game half the time. So just watch out for that. That's a little sneaky one that a lot of people are going to be looking over. That line is at 8.5 now. Take it. It's fine. I take it down to 7.5. That's going to be a close game. You guys are so fixed on the game. It's over.
No,
It
the
just
game's
ended.
over.
It just
The
Game's
ended.
over.
For those of you who will listen to the late night, it's 86-80 UCLA, and it looks like they're just going to dribble. I don't know what. They took a timeout. What? Game's over.
Yeah, no, that
Sorry,
sucked.
boys.
That sucked. I mean, the fact that Michigan State, they were up double digits multiple times at this game. Appalachian State, they were down 19. Then late in the game, they're up 6 or 7, and then they forget how to play basketball.
That's March, baby.
It's
Listen,
March.
watch, look at the background. This is March.
Yeah, trying to not get myself too torn, too broken down about this.
It's only the first
tough
day.
start. Tough start.
Yeah, I had a 2-in-1 day, 1-on-1 in the tournament technically, but I hit that NIT. That was one of the easier bets of the year for me. Was NC State over Davidson. Davidson stinks.
What was the final in that game? I didn't
They
even
won by
pay any
I think they
attention.
won by 19 or 20. It wasn't close.
Nice.
Okay. Boys, that's it. We're gonna have a nice quick episode.
Yeah, that's not bad.
40
Yeah,
minutes.
I mean, I'll have NBA plays that get posted. I'm not really worried about it digging in too much right now. It's just March Madness. This is first round, baby. That's what this is about.
Say NBA? You talking about the association or in March? Get off of my
I always
podcast.
got to talk. Hey, I always got to talk what I know.
That's fair. No, listen, we talked about it with Jared, and don't bet on what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What I know is NBA. I'll actually, you know what? I'm just going to run through it real fast. I won't go deep in depth or anything. But early plays that I have for tomorrow, I have. Hold on, let me just make sure I got the right games lined up here because I didn't expect to be talking about this. First one I'm going to have is the Nets -8 against, I believe, the Magic, if I'm not mistaken. Big game for the Nets. They can kind of take the first top seed in the Eastern Conference with a win and a potential Sixers loss. It's a great opportunity for them. I don't see them losing that chance right there. They've won like 13 of their last 15 games. They're on fire right now. So, not going to overthink it. Going to take the hot team for sure. Come back here. We're going to take the Jazz -5 against Toronto. This is a strange line for sure because Toronto is pretty much cooked at this point. They're going to start selling off pieces shortly. You probably can look for a Kyle Lowry trade coming up, a Chris Boucher trade for a team that's looking for like stretch 4 for the playoff run. Norman Powell's name has been out there a lot. He just put up 43 points yesterday with 0 assists. Kudos to him. I love the ball hog nature.
Kobe night.
They need to do that. I love a good Kobe night. Jazz is obviously a significantly better team. It's a weird line in the sense that Jazz have not been covering a lot of late. They've only covered 1 out of their last 6 games. And they lost outright to Washington tonight. So it's interesting. I do think the Jazz will bounce back, and I like them to lay the 5. I'm going to take the Bulls +7. That will be against Denver. This is going to be, I think, a high-scoring game. The Bulls are a very fun team to watch. They run up and down the court. They put the ball in the net a lot. The Nuggets have been very hot and cold so far this year. Since the break, kind of come out of the break, they're indifferent. They're up 1, they're down 1. Give me the points, and we'll see what happens. And then the last play I definitely think I'm going to have is the Pistons +2.5 against the Rockets. The Rockets stink. They've lost, I think it's like 15 or 16 straight games.
I think it's more than that now.
It might be. I think it might be 18. They're terrible. They just made a trade yesterday, sending PJ Tucker to Milwaukee. They didn't get really anything back. DJ Augustin and DJ Wilson aren't going to do much. I think Augustin actually will probably get retraded or he'll be bought out. DJ Wilson's an okay player. He's a nice player at Michigan State, but he's not going to move the needle much at all. He might get some bench minutes, nothing crazy. It's more about the picks for them. I like the Pistons in this one. I like Jeremy Grant to have another nice game and see what's happening there. Let's see if we can get these points and win. So that's what I got for NBA for tomorrow from now.
NBA did me dirty today. I'm not going to talk about it, but the Pistons are dead to me. Not the Pistons, the fucking Pelicans. The Pelicans are dead to me. That over
hasn't been
even close.
Nope, that over hasn't been that great of late. I think it's only like 3 of last 4 it's missed.
It's all right. I bounce back because I have at least an 8-game card of college basketball coming out tomorrow. Probably more. We'll see.
That's how you win.
This is how we win. Listen, I'm excited. I can't wait. I honestly just want to go to bed. This way I wake up and there's games, but I won't be able to sleep. I'm too excited. I'm way too excited, boys. We're about to go hit the tour, this PGA. Boys, where can I find you out on Twitter?
You can find me at Greg. Help me. I need followers.
Greg, I think you need to spell it out for the people.
I'm not very good at spelling. Morgan, why don't you help me?
No shot. No shot he could spell it.
I could spell it, but you should just spend your time following Betting the Diagonal. We have 1,000 times more followers than Greg has. So check us out there. That way you can still at least see what Greg is doing, even if you don't want to follow his personal page. The only good thing about if you follow his personal page is he never tweets from his personal page. So while we're blowing you up with Betting the Diagonals page, you'll never see anything come off of Greg's page himself. So it definitely gives you something to take a look at. But you can find Greg at Greg at GIRSCHGREG. That is on TWITTER. You can find him on Twitter. He is on there in case you don't know how to find him. Just take a look for him. Just throw a little like his way. Throw a little follow his way. Turn on notifications so that way the day he does tweet, you can be the first one there to interact with him, and he'll get back to you in about a week.
That's not bad. You can find me over at Billy FFD, also known as, you can't see it, the champion of the regular season college basketball for the Betting Diagonal boys. There's still a lot of college basketball to be played, so it's still anybody's game, I guess. I could go on a real cold streak in the tournament. I started today 2-1 between the NIT and the college. I use my personal Twitter as my own little playground. Whatever and anything comes to my mind, no matter what time of day. I am from the old school Twitter. I don't think about my tweets. I just send them. And I will respond back to anybody and everybody on Betting Diagonal as well. I have no shame. I will chirp you all day. I almost chirped the guy who was trying to do a free promo on our page today, but I was a little busy at work. Shout out to him. Morgan, where can we find you?
You can find me at MoWash26 and at Betting Diagonal. I too use my page in the old school fashion, just to say whatever the heck I want to say. PSA for today: stop cyberbullying. I went on a massive rant today on Twitter because there's people cyberbullying this kid. I am very anti that. We as a whole are very anti that here at Betting the Diagonal. There is no right way, shape, or mind that anyone who is a grown adult should be coming at a kid online in any fashion.
Yes.
So get that little
agree.
PSA out there because that triggered me big time today. It was very disgraceful of what I was seeing.
Yep. I didn't get to catch that. I was at work all day. I'll definitely look into what you're talking about. And for the record, we are not bullying Greg. He is a very good friend of ours.
He consents to the bullying.
Yeah, he consents to this. It's all jokes and fun. Yep, that's about it. Like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Instagram. No, I can always say Instagram. I'm so used to FFD, so used to it. Give everybody at home listening, give the little Greg peace signs. Please shout out to my boy Greg Gersh, Greg. Shout out to Maddie Gersh. Happy birthday, boys! Let's win some money in March. How about it?
Yes,
Happy tip off, boys. Let's have a fucking tournament.
Yes, sir.
Let's get
Best
after
of luck,
it.
boys. Best of luck, boys and girls. See you next week.